All right, it's time for language. I didn't really get much reaction out of you guys the other day. I thought you would be more excited when I told you that you are so close to the end of language that you get a couple breaks here and there. You're on lesson 157, and I think you should have a test coming up fairly soon, and then you're down to just review stuff. I want to say there's maybe 165 lessons in your language book. I'm not really sure. So your language journey from here on out can either be, and I'll let you choose, so let me know in the comments or via message today whether you guys would rather do like 2 pages a day and get done faster, or do you just want to do like one side of a page and kind of just take it easy on the language part. So let me know what you would rather do. I'm fine with either. You guys are finishing the book no matter what. So you let me know what you would prefer, and I will plan accordingly. However, if there is a split decision, I'll just go back and forth. So Tyler, if you want to do it one way and Ellie wants to do it another, I will just be like, one day is easy, the next day's harder, okay? So we'll work on that one. But I need you to open up today to page number 278. You don't need a pencil. It's just it's a long lesson, so we're just going to walk through it together and talk through it together because it is a little bit confusing. So just please open to page 278, and then we'll just read along and I'll explain things as we go. 278. Okay, linking verbs. Now that we know that verbs show action or state of being, or that they sometimes help other verbs, we're ready to learn the fourth thing verbs can do. So they can either be action, state of being, helping verbs, or linking verbs. And what a linking verb is, or verbs can also link the subject to a complement, not like a, I like your hair today. Compliment, that's a different compliment. A complement is an article in a sentence or a language thing. To the predicate, in the predicate, so in the verbs part of the sentence that describes the, sorry, let me back up. I just morphed 2 sentences together. I'm in the second sentence. Verbs can also link the subjects to a complement in the predicate part of the sentence. A verb which does not, or which does this, is called a linking verb. A linking verb links the subject with the complement in the predicate or the second half of the opposite part of the sentence that describes the subject or renames the subject. So for example, Miss Morrow is nice. Nice is a predicate adjective because it's in the predicate part of the sentence, but it describes the subject. So I actually just taught this like 5 minutes ago to the 4th graders. Hopefully you'll remember. But adjectives, you can always test to see if an adjective in the end describes the subject by saying nice Miss Morrow or Miss Morrow is very nice, and if either of those 2 tests, either putting the adjective in front of the subject or putting very in front of the adjective, makes sense, then it is indeed a predicate adjective. So Miss Morrow is very nice. It's describing, nice describes the teacher. Or Miss Morrow, we don't know that she's a teacher. The next sentence, this is right beside the orange corner of that picture of the teacher. Miss Morrow is a teacher. The noun teacher in this place is not a noun. It is a complement because it's another name, or it can rename the subject, Miss Morrow. So you could say Miss Cumberland is a teacher, or Miss Cumberland is my teacher. Teacher, my name can be replaced with teacher because that's something that I am. So teacher is a complement, which means in both of those sentences, the being verb is counted as a linking verb because it links the subject with an adjective or a noun in the predicate part, okay, with a complement in the predicate part of the sentence. So in those cases, is a linking verb. You already know most of the linking verbs. Those are your state of being verbs. You just have to decide, are they being used in this case as a being verb or as a linking verb, okay? So am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Verb phrases which end with be, being, been can be linking verbs. That's right under the box of state of being verbs. Star that. You need to know that for sure. So let's look at the following examples, the ones with the right arrow. Do you see that these verbs are sometimes used to show state of being and sometimes used to link the subject with the words or that describe or rename it? So Jasmine is pretty. Pretty Jasmine, or Jasmine is very pretty. Yes, so pretty describes Jasmine, which means is now a linking verb. It links something in the subject part to the predicate part. It's like a bridge that bridges the gap between the subject and predicate, where that line is when you diagram it. Next sentence, Anna is a good singer. Singer is something to rename Anna, or could rename Anna, so is becomes a linking verb. It links Anna to singer. Down the last sentence with the red arrow, Zachary is here. Here is an adverb telling where, making it a state of being verb. So here does not describe Zachary. Here Zachary doesn't describe Zachary in that way, and you can't say Zachary is very here. It doesn't make sense. So it is just an adverb describing where. So is stays state of being verbs, okay? Now you must memorize the rest of the linking verb, the sometimes linking verbs, because sometimes they link and sometimes they show action. So let's go on to the next page. I know, aren't all these exceptions in language fun? I think they are. Okay, blue box on page number 279. These are the sometimes linking verbs. Taste, feel, smell, sound. So our senses, look, senses, appear, become, seem, grow, remain, or stay. Let's look at through the options, okay? Let this look closely right here with the little fox. That's where I'm at, the first sentence. The lemon tasted tart. So you tastes tart. So if I were to say, Bob tastes his ice cream, it would be an action verb, but the lemon tastes tart. A lemon doesn't have a sense of taste, so it can't taste something. It becomes a linking verb because tart describes the lemon. A tart lemon, or the lemon is very tart, okay? Tastes very tart, so it's an adjective. Let's go down to number 1. Your head feels warm. Feels is a linking verb because warm describes your head. The warm head, or your head is very warm. It's an adjective describing the subject, which means the verb is then a linking verb. However, in the next sentence below that, the baby feels her soft blanket. The baby is feeling something. The blanket is the direct object of what the baby is feeling. Feels what? The blanket, okay? So you're using all of the things that you've learned. I want you to read down through these sentences because I know that you guys looking at them and deciding in your brain is going to be a lot better than me reading through them and you losing interest. So you have the capability. I want you to go through and think about why some of those are linking verbs instead of action verbs, okay? Why some of them are action verbs instead of linking verbs. And then you're going to do page number 280 for today. All right, let me know. Don't forget to let me know what you would rather do for language for the rest of the year, because we have a whole month left where I'm going to be assigning you guys things, but we're running out of lessons in some of our subject areas, which is fine. Okay, you only have a couple more spelling lists left, and your language is pretty close. So we can either knock your language out in the next 2 weeks and have 2 weeks off, or we can just take it easy for the rest of the year and just do a little bit at a time. So you let me know what you'd rather do in the comments or send me a message, and then I will decide and fill you in on Monday about what we will be doing from here on out.